kinds of past that we
Okay.
discussed. I'm going to.
Okay. Hang on, let me get a pen.
Mhm.
Okay.
Okay. So,
Well,
can you tell me um, the uses of every um, kind of past? Like I know we discussed this, and you have your notes. So you tell me. For example, this one. When do I use this one?
I'm sorry, say that again. Thomas was messaging me.
Okay.
Oh, so this is when an action in the past is
Mm-hmm.
um,
What?
no, it's just it's just Thomas.
Okay. Okay.
Okay. So this is an action in the past that relates to
Bless you.
that relates to time, right?
That what
That relates to time.
relates to time? Like this?
No, that's a different one. I guess I didn't write. Oh no no. Okay, so perfecto. Maybe I don't have notes on this one. I think I do, but I just started them and I didn't finish them because like then there was the next one that relates to time, but my notes are not that good, which is kind of like the issue. Okay,
Yeah, but
so
just because I don't know what you mean when you say relates to time.
okay, yeah, no, relates to time is for a different thing. It's just relates to time is like participado, hablado.
Ah, okay, okay. Ah,
Um, but this is something that like hablaste. So I don't know how to explain it honestly. So let's just start from the top.
okay. So this one with this conjugation is for the actions that happen in the past during a limited amount of time, like a limited time or a specific amount of times. So we wrote here, no, we didn't. For example, this. Cuando estaba joven jugué al fútbol. So this is the other kind of past that we're going to uh, discuss in a few moments. But this one, who game, like
Okay.
this, it's because that action of playing football was like a specific time, or it was during a short and specific a limited amount of time. So this one, I don't know if you're going to write the how to conjugate this, or you have the this chart, but this one is for that specific actions. Like we have here, specific actions in the past, an action um in the duration of that time of that action was limited, or an action that I did and a specific amount of times. So is this one. This one is this one. I told you that it's not important the names because sometimes they call this kind of verbal time pretérito perfecto or indefinido. So that's why I told you that.
Oh, okay. So that's probably also what's confusing me because I'm using the um okay, so Able. All right, let's just try and make this simpler and in English. Like Able, because like I don't understand like what we're. I'm honestly getting frustrated with this whole past thing and with this the way that we're trying to do this.
Okay.
Like because I've seen this chart like a lot of times. I'm not fully understanding it, and then in this same lesson plan, because it's not like an actual book, it's like Spanish with Skype. It's like a free website, so then they're just like using charts that they stole from another website, and then matching it with this chart that they probably stole from another website, if that makes sense. So that like that's the only reason that if you're telling me within the same page of learning, we're referring to this type of past in two separate ways.
Okay.
Do you see what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
Like, so, like the um,
Yes.
yeah. So it doesn't make a lot of sense to me because like I have in my notes, I have like predetermined perfecto, and then like I'm taking notes again on something else that is like this indefinito, and then you're telling me it's the same thing that I'm learning off this same free page.
Uh-huh. Okay. So
So it's not going to be. I don't know.
okay, so let's just forget about the page. And so I know can be frustrating because we have talked about this many times, but okay, let's start not from the beginning, but let's start from the part you got confused, and have in mind that we're going to focus first, and that's what we did classes ago, on the difference between the ones that ends, for example, hablé, like the one that we just saw, and the other one. And the reason we're focusing on the difference between these two is because if you translate that to English, is going to have this same translation. Okay, so when you are going to talk now in Spanish, you can't translate because you're going to have these two options.
Okay.
So um, we have to know the difference and when can I use each one, right? So that's why we're focusing on that. Okay.
Okay.
So we said a lot of times, right, that I'm going to write just the conjugation, just the conjugation for yo, because you know the other ones. Okay. because the difficulty here is not the conjugation, because maybe you just can't memorize that and that's it. The thing we have to focus is is the difference, right? When do I use each one? And the main difference is that this one is for specific and limited actions, and this one is for descriptions or something that was part of my routine in the past. Okay,
Okay.
so you can write here like I don't know if this is a word in repetitive or no. I don't think so. Okay. And the other one is a specific action. Action. Now, in which part between these two kinds of past you get confused?
Um, no, I don't think I am confused between the two, but there's like four types of past.
Yes, but the thing here is that the other two, y yo había the other two, we last we also talked about these two because we we already discussed this, right? But in this moment, let's not try to think about all of them, right? Because they have like specific uses, specific moments or thinking things in the past that I'm going to use each one of these. The thing here with these two is that I think you don't have the same use, right? But you can translate this to English. That's the difference. So we don't have to um, get like worried about where do I use this right now, because in this moment you can translate that. And when we have this too very clear, when we already know all of the things we have to know about this, then we can move on to these two, not only by translation, but um, knowing the uses, the different uses. Okay, so let's not think about these two yet, so we don't get uh, like overwhelmed.
Okay.
Okay, so these two, I'm just going to write the translation. I know you don't have like in English. I don't think you have to think too much about the use of this. It's not this specific, but
Yeah.
let's just have the I have spoken. Um, let's just have the translation there, and we're going to worry about this later.
Okay.
Now, these two, right? Um, so you don't get confused between these two. It's just when you have all of them, right?
Yeah.
Okay. So let's just think about these two. Then let's just think about these two. And when we feel ready, the other two, right? So in this moment, let's try to, like, you're going to try to give me in English uh, some phrases in the past, right? And we're going to identify if we're going to translate that
Okay.
for this kind or this kind. Okay,
Okay.
so uh, first, give me a phrase, and we're going to.
So yo habla is like I spoke.
Uh huh.
Yo hablaba is like I was speaking, or no?
Um, mm, you can say it like that, right? But for example, if you say, I spoke with that person that time, it would be that. But
Yeah.
if you say, I spoke, like, I don't know, Portuguese, but not anymore, something like that. Like, it's more like I used to speak Portuguese. Like, I used to.
Okay. So hablaba probably is not a good example. Like when would you even say hablaba? Then
Yeah, like what I said, like, hablaba portugués.
sure, but
Pero,
that just seems like a pretty outlying case. Like I used to speak a language and I don't speak it anymore.
I don't know. Pero eh, ya se me olvidó. Something like that. Hablaba o hablaba todos los días con mi prima, pero then something happened, right?
Okay. Okay. No, that makes sense.
Something like that. And the other one, hablé con mi prima por teléfono. Teléfono esta mañana. I don't know. So this one is the specific action of this morning that I spoke with her.
Okay.
And this one is more extended. So now you give me some phrase, and we're going to try to identify which one is.
Um, specifically for the first two or for any of them?
For any, or maybe
Okay.
specifically in a phrase that you think like, okay, I don't know in this one, which one would I use in Spanish?
Probably I just had. Um, I don't know if they're okay. So I was speaking.
Uh-huh.
I was speaking with Tom. Sure.
Tom.
Tom. Sure.
So
See, like that's where that's where it. So that yo a hablado is more than just. So the estaba is I was, and because
yeah, it's because you said I was. If you say I was and then the action, uh, or you were and things like that, that have that has a specific translation. It's the same than here that has a specific translation. Like if you tell me a phrase with this, I'm going to just write this. Also, when you say I was, like I was is estaba or es, right? So it's something that I have the option to just translate.
Okay.
So maybe just tell me an action, and we're going to see the example with this and with this. I don't tell me a phrase, just an action, like a verb.
Uh, learning.
Okay, so
Learn.
aprender.
Yeah.
Um, em, el bebé aprendió. I don't know. I don't know about babies. Maybe this doesn't make sense.
Okay.
A caminar. Aprendió a caminar hace unos hace unas horas. So when I say this, it's because in that specific moment that is a few hours ago, the baby just um, got up and started walking.
Learn to walk. Yeah.
Yeah. But if I say, if I aprendió a caminar, that is the specific action. Now let's think about the other one. Cuando estaba en el colegio, aprendía eh, muchas cosas diferentes. So, when I was, and even this estaba is in this kind of conjugation, kind of past, right? Cuando estaba en el colegio, so I'm saying that being on the school was part of my routine before, right?
Yep.
Also, learning many different things was also part of my routine. So that's why aprendía is in this. So aprendía muchas cosas diferentes because it was something more like it's in the past. Like I learned or learned different things, but I think the action is more like the limits of the action is more like blur, something like that.
Okay.
Um, so good so far. Do you have questions?
I would have to see the chart on a Blaba. Like that confuses me. Like
Okay. For this one, it's just that it's just the AR and the other ones verbs. Their verbs are very different. So maybe you
yeah.
get confused with that.
Oh, so yeah, if it ends in AR,
Mm-hmm.
apprended. Okay,
Okay.
that makes sense.
Okay. Now let's see other action.
Uh, Viajar.
Viajar. Um,
Hang on a second.
mhm.
Okay.
Okay, en mi familia. Okay. So, for example, if I want to say, like, see that for this kind of even past, many times uh, I want to translate this for I used to. So, for example, antes viajaba por trabajo. So, I used to travel for work before. So, like traveling for work was part of my routine,
Okay.
was something repetitive. Yeah, yeah. Now, en enero, mi familia y yo viajamos a Cartagena. Also, something here important with this. This is the other one. This is the other one. With the one that is specific, is that for nosotros, in the even if the verb ends with AR,
Okay.
it's going to be the same. Hablamos, right? Then the present.
Wait, I didn't get that.
Um, no, it's just that the conjugation happens to be the same, so you don't get
Okay.
confused. Like maybe you read this, and maybe you can think, okay, but this is present, right?
Okay. But it's the same. That's what you're telling me. So whether it's the past or the present, viajamos is the same.
Yeah, it's the same. Like we travel and we traveled. In this case, for this conjugation, is the same. It's just the, because it happens in any language, the context that you're talking. Like for example, if I tell you this en enero, mi familia y yo viajamos a Cartagena right now, because right now is February, it's going to be past.
Okay.
And yeah, it's the context.
Okay.
So let's do some two other verbs, and let's move on to some exercises. But I wanted to ask you, with how do you feel you learn the most, right? If we do exercises online, or if we just talk like this.
I think exercises are a good idea to like see if I'm actually understanding what it
Okay,
is. So,
okay, so let's do that after two more.
okay. Limpiar.
Limpiar.
Or maybe we should just add something different that's like an I verb.
Ah, okay,
Um,
so maybe
Vivir.
which one?
Vivir?
Vivir. Okay, so um, if I want to say that in a specific moment I lived in some place, like during a specific time, right? For example, durante 20 días viví en, let's say, viviste, you lived, viviste in, I don't know, some place, en un barco, I don't know. Right? So that
Yeah.
was during that specific time. And let's see for ellos. So, for example, I know that Maria y Juan lived in Manrique for a long time, or just not during a not a specific time.
Okay.
But now I don't know where they're living.
Okay.
Okay. And the last one, maybe a ER
Yeah, Colbert.
comment. Comment. And I think this one, I already told you this example, but we're going to do the same. So, for a specific action, esta tarde comí carne para el almuerzo. O de almuerzo. So I ate meat for lunch.
Okay.
And it was that specific time. But if I want to say something for eat in the past, but something more repetitive, or yeah, part of my routine. So when I was young, I ate meat, but now I'm a vegetarian.
Okay.
Okay, so ready for the exercises?
Sure.
Okay, give me 1 second. Maybe I can find some other exercises
Okay.
because we did the other ones. Ejercicios. Okay. Okay. Because there's like all of them um gives me like they all four two options, but I don't want that.
Pistania. So that's like eyelash, right?
What? What thing?
Pistania. It says Nueva Pistania. That's like eyelash, right?
Pestaña, ajá.
Okay.
I think this one. Voy a ver si sí es este, encantado. Yeah, is this one. Encantado. Okay, this one. First, we have exercises uh, for the one that is like saying things that was part of some routine or repetitive actions,
Okay.
things like that. First, we're going to have that. So, cuando era pequeña me
Encantaba.
ujú, ir a patinar.
Estudiste?
This
No.
one, estuviste is the other kind of past. We're using this one. We're on this one, on this. And is estudiar. So it ends in AR. So it is ends with AR and two.
Estudiar en two. Sorry, I was gonna go to Costa Rica to visit my mom, but I want to give her time to like enjoy her vacation. So I basically just was I she never gets time away. She never gets like vacation time, and
Mhm.
I could tell like she was needing space, and I didn't want to like take the last couple days of her trip, so I just messaged her, and she was
Oh.
actually really happy. Uh, okay, so estudiar two. Estudies, estudi,
This one is AR, estudiar, AR,
estudiabas.
estudiabas. Ujú.
Okay,
Al mismo tiempo que
trabajabas.
ujú. Ok, good. Now, siempre nos acordamos de cuando de excursión a Sierra Nevada.
Siempre nos acordamos. What is acordamos?
Like
We're in agreement.
we remembered.
Oh, accord? Acordamos is remember?
Acordamos, no,
Yeah.
but
No.
nos acordamos.
Okay.
So we're going to discuss again the or not, depending on this. There's a difference between acordar, it's what you said, and acordarse. Why do I know I'm using this one? Because of the word here, nos.
Okay.
So nos acordamos, not just acordamos. So it's acordarse and remember.
But pero or acordarse is to remember?
Ajá.
Okay. Ear is Iba?
Eh,
Ibamos? No?
íbamos. Ujú. Íbamos. Because it's nos.
Yeah.
Íbamos de excursión a Sierra Nevada. This one is vosotros, but think you're doing the conjugation for ustedes. Because if you, like in Spain, they say vosotros instead of ustedes.
Okay.
So
Uh, Antes nunca teníamos.
teníamos. Ujú. Teníamos tiempo libre. Mi hermana pequeña, la nieta favorita de mi abuela.
Era?
Era. Ujú. Now, now we're going to move on to the other kind. So we're going to use this one here.
Okay.
Nuria y Marcos, the verb is pedir un préstamo para comprar la casa.
They asked for a loan. Es ellos. Pedí?
So ellos pedir, so it's this one. And it's ellos. So pidieron
Pidieron. Okay.
un préstamo para comprar la casa.
Okay.
El otro día, Guillermo y yo al cine del barrio. And the verb is ir. It's ir.
I don't know. So is Ibamos again or no?
No, íbamos is the other one. In this case, it's irregular, and we talked about that the first time we discussed the different kinds of past, and it's fuimos.
Fuimos. Okay.
It's that one.
Okay.
So it's, I don't know if you remember, and I told you for this case, in this kind of past, yo, no yo, ir, 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 and ser have the same conjugation, like in this kind of thing, right? If I say, what? You said
Hmm?
something? No?
No.
So if you say we were or we went, it's the same. Like we were boyfriend and girlfriend. Like fuimos novios. Or in this case, we went to the cinema. Fuimos al cine. So it happens to be the same.
Okay.
Now, ayer llover tanto que inundarse, we have here a reflexive verb, el garaje.
Ayer Julio? Julio?
Llovió.
Joven.
Ujú. Llovió.
Inundarse? Is that like flooding?
It's no. I think maybe it's that word that you say, but I'm not sure. I just forgot about the word. But it's when there's a lot of water where it's not supposed to be water.
Yeah, flooding.
Okay, that.
Yeah. Okay. Inundarse. Uh, Indu Indudario?
So
Dario?
first, see here it's reflexive. So we have to put some
Say.
word say. Mhm.
Say. Say Indu Say Indario? Induio?
Oh, inundó,
Inundo. Okay.
inundó. Now again, reflective. Mi
Mi
vecino,
vecino mi vecino say Compria? Comprio?
Se compró.
Se compró.
Su televisión nueva en la tienda de la esquina. Los profesores ya te que estudiases más.
Decirnos? Oh,
No,
no. Ya te dice.
ya te.
Dicio.
What was the first one you said?
Decirnos? But that wasn't right. So,
Decirnos no. But
no, I didn't see the te. Los profesores ya te decirian. Decirian?
dijeron.
Yeah.
Because it's irregular. But good. Yeah. Dijeron. Dijeron. Like, it is right that if you go here for the regulars, it would be dicieron. Right.
Okay.
But it's irregular, so it's dijeron.
Okay.
I'm going to try to send you this week, like before Tuesday, a list of some irregular verbs in this in all of these past. Okay.
So yeah, what would be great is like if these notes that you were doing, we were doing those in a Google document
Ah,
that I could see as well instead of like a notepad on your computer.
yes. Okay. I'm going to write a Google Drive. So send me your email because I don't think I have your email. And I'm going to share that with you.
Hang on. So let me see this. Share. I think this one's already copied with you. So hang on. I think that you already have. Um, hang on. Mariana. All right. So if we can add a column here,
Where?
I just sent you a sheet. Topics covered in class. So like
Okay.
maybe under the topics covered in, and then like insert one column to the right. So maybe I just added a column called class notes and then just like linked the Google Doc. All right, so
But I think I have to open that in my computer because here is not working.
okay. Well, Thomas should have already shared that with you, but if he didn't, but what was I doing? So I'm gonna bounce back over here. Topics covered, class notes, like this. So if not, I will make a screenshot of how I did this.
I think, did he share that with you today?
Yeah. So you might not have it yet, but I just sent
Yeah.
you.
He
Yeah,
told me something like that.
I just sent you a screenshot of like what it would be, and I created a document, and then I linked that. Like
Uh-huh.
so, yeah. So see how I linked that as like example notes.
Okay.
Okay. And then when you do your document, like here, so let me just copy this example notes. So I'll send you this because this will share with anyone, but do it like what is today? 2/1/2024. Things covered. And then maybe, yeah, like if you plan the classes in advance, you would already know, but like separate these out by like date, and then it's
Mm-hmm.
like blah blah, like this type of thing.
Uh-huh. So
That would be more helpful, so I can go back to it, and then you can also do like in these notes. So like whatever it was. So let's say that you were doing my
mhm.
example notes. Oh, okay.
Yeah, I need the access to edit that.
Oh yeah. All right. So just let me change this. All right, there you go. There you go. All right, so you have edit access. So and then you might put like the my favorite site, the Spanish with Skype.com / free materials, whatever it is. So like you might put like that as a reference, or then like exercises covered, and then we can easily remember. And then when we were having a session, you can be like, hey, remember we covered this. And instead of me being like, when, and flipping through this notebook of my poorly handwritten notes, we can just go back here and you can say, on this date, we did this. It was on this. Do you remember this? This is what we covered. And then if I'm struggling with something that like we run out of time in class or something, I can go to the Spanish.Skype with free materials, whatever it is, and then like review that session.
Okay.
And then you can also maybe like how you keep opening the tabs of the charts, like you can also basically just like this.
Mm-hmm.
You can paste the chart right in there. So like when you open that tab, you just copy the image, paste the chart in there.
Okay.
Does that make sense? And then
Yeah.
we can kind of do it in that way, and then it's a little bit more organized because like we've done like collectively, like with Thomas, I think I've done like 50 classes, and like I think that if we do it in the structure, I would get more out of it. Because I'm personally pretty ADD and like not the most organized. So like what I like the reason that I'm going to a school instead of just like going to all these sites on my own
Mm-hmm.
is like I need someone to like part of the value that I'm getting out of that is someone who keeps this organized and like kind of keeps it in a lesson plan. And I appreciate that like Thomas doesn't have like a set book. Some schools have set books.
Mm-hmm.
So like I'm good with that. But like this is how I think that we should track it.
Okay. So just like basically copying this instead of this here.
And we'll work in the Google document each day. We'll work in the Google document. You'll put the date. You'll put links to the materials that we did,
Mm-hmm.
and then as you're opening these charts and tabs, you can just paste them in here, and then you can scroll back up and down, and then we have like our own little book. And then you can also I don't give a shit if you use this like with other people, but if you do this long enough in this format, you'll basically have classes, right?
Uh-huh.
Like this is my Ablaba class, and so on and so forth. Then you can basically just copy this document, create it for someone else, and then give them the same class, and then you guys have like a structured thing going.
Okay, good. Yeah, I'm going to do that instead of here.
Okay. It'll make your life easier because you're just like keeping everything in Notepad like for each person, which doesn't really help us so much, and like it doesn't give you like material that you can reuse. So if you do this for a couple of years and you have all of these Google documents saved, you can basically like plan out like based on someone's Spanish level at their initial evaluation. Now you have a class for them, and then your class is all set up, and then you can just go through it. You click on the links. It's all very organized, and it's not just like kind of so haphazard, you know?
Okay, yeah. Yeah, it's just that I did here because I was thinking, okay, this I'm going to share this every class, but I didn't. And also I thought people were like also taking notes of what I was writing here.
Yeah, I do, but like it's not so I don't have it like by date with the links with the charts where I can go back and review it if that makes sense.
Okay.
So like I have countless pages of my scribbled notes, but like it's just all over the place where this kind of condenses it, and then I can go back and say, and then when we evaluate again, because I'm going to pay them for another 3 months. So then when we go back in 3 months, we will have from February to May, and we can say like, hey, what did you learn? And then in this document as well, you can also track like the tests that were given, like the score that I got on the tests, and then we can see. And then you can retest on those materials like in 3 months and be like, okay, look, like you've made this amount of tangible progress. Your time and investment are being well used, obviously, because you're making this progress. Does that make sense?
Okay. Yeah.
Okay. All right. Awesome. So I will see you on Tuesday then, right?
Okay. Fine.
Okay, perfect. Thanks very much. Yeah, bye.
Bye.